Anyway, before I go to the wahala na weird, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say dem just like when the eat don sleep. Other people say na the cow dey like, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem like pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call colors, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem wey dey can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala na we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say dem just like when the eat don sleep. Other people say na the cow dey like, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem like pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call colors, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of a program Colors right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook, so we can discuss issues them where they come right from the different newspaper them for the day. And today we actually don't get we guests and standby where we can go on with, but first let me look at the different newspaper them where we don't get inside the program this morning. And the first paper where we begin with inside the program this morning gets to do with the Sankara newspaper. Sankara newspaper and the first paper we say government financial economic measures. President Bill combat COVID-19 war with over 200 million United States dollars, and the gods not to blame. SLPP NGC alliance dumps APC Samira Kamara for June 24th 2023 elections. Sierra Leone get Navy boats, patrol vessels. This is another story there for inside this edition of the Sankara newspaper. The next paper na Salon Compass we say a massive economic boost for Salon. Arise IIP's special economic zone to be launched today. Samuel Kamara talks tough. This is another story there for you inside this edition of the Salon Compass. The next paper na The Solutionist. The Solutionist say SLPP NGC sign political alliance, and you as well get our duty as judges is to uphold the right of citizens, Chief Justice says, and you as well get President Bio address representatives. This is another story for you inside this edition of The Solutionist. The next paper, the Vindicator newspaper, where say Jules Saw condemns exorbitant increase of flour prices, and Parliament ratifies Peninsula City Agreement and supporting, and law school demand 50% fees before admission. Dollar rate adversely affects 2023 Arch, and US Intel chief urge measures response to Pentagon Discord leak. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Vindicator. The next one na the Salon Times. Salon Times say as Parliament ratifies its agreement, arise to create a 16,000 hectare economic zone in Songo, and PPASL holds strategic planning meeting. Cannot to soon get modern private hospital, and you as well get as Mercury International doles out 5,000 United States dollar 7 to battle in Femmopreneur Pitch Night. This is another story there for you inside this edition of the Saloon Times. The next paper, now the Auko newspaper, where say life is a gift and should never be for sale, President Bio. Chinese medical team administer free malaria treatment at Waterloo. Embassy Lamina, 2 others C4C MPs resign and declare for SLPP. Former councillor remanded for alleged incitement of August 10 protest. And APC chairman declares twice for SLPP. Today is my last day in Parliament. Honorable I.B. Kabu. This another story for you inside the last paper for this morning. Now the Concord Times newspaper will say government partners and discuss ways to end human trafficking. SLPP, NGC ally for 2023 elections. And Sierra Leone to reduce malaria infection by 75% in 2025. Alleged mother of first lady's bodyguard accused, acquitted, and discharged. And former councillor on remand for alleged incitement of August 10 protest. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Concord Times newspaper. Well, the paper that this will get inside the program this morning. We'll go straight to we guest them and welcome them inside the program this morning. Follow we discuss the different issues them. We get Alphonsus Bani, the Human Rights Defenders Network, and same way so na human rights activist. We then look at different issues them inside the country. Good morning and welcome to the program, Alphonsus.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
And the next person where we get inside the program now, Joseph Ablaki. We himself done the journey inside the program. And himself, Joseph, forgive me, the organization name again, please.
Pride Sierra Leone.
Pride Sierra Leone. Forgive me, they are big.
I understand.
Okay. Pride Sierra Leone. Okay. So welcome to the show, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you very much. And good morning to my senior brother, Alfonso.
Okay, great. Happy that you seen your brother meeting at the platform.
Yeah.
All right, so let me begin look at the issues them we see. I want to ask you this question. Yesterday we see the dissolution. In other words, we see Usai the president actually giving final statements in Parliament yesterday. We mean say Parliament the 5th Parliament don't come to an end. In just short, how una go assess this 5th Parliament, their performance so far in 5 years? I'll start with you, Joseph.
Yes, my brother. We don't see the Parliament don't dissolve yesterday. For the past 5 years, we go say then do what they're capable of doing, because you cannot give what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And better some laws were passed, and the views of Boku, some were good, and some we still get problem with. Just like the 11th hour one with them pass on what is to be given to parliamentarians. We go for resign, or we not go for go a second time or a first time. To a tune of is it $500,000 and some other stuff.
$50,000.
Whatever it is, $1,000 or $2,000, or considering the economic control they face, and considering the kind of things so they face now the country, the common cities in the past, they're waiting for it. Looking at all the things they are, then people just go because they want it. Selfishly, want for go pass such a law into Parliament where they just benefit few handful of people, and the masses left for suffer. That law yesterday, to me yesterday night, I did think over and say, make president not even a penny signature to such, because we are now considering how the citizens of this state.
According to the member of parliament, and this is not just formality's sake. Like the president, we don't they agree to some of the things them we them we don't they ask for. So that for just make it be formal now, and I make they actually. You remember first they be actually withdraw this particular parliamentary act, and now they don't go ahead again. And do a midnight.
Yeah, that just the reason they say, you understand, make the president not even pass such. Start to look at if they wanted this, let we start for look at the minimum wage. For the poor man where they work, the average Sierra Leonean where they work. Now the minimum wage has been raised to 800,000. Still just take 630 leons from that 800 leons for go buy rest. Tell me what's in the left. So we are asking either the SLPP, the APC, the NGC, the C4C, whoever parliamentarian will be in at that parliament. This move is not in the favor of Sierra Leoneans, but in the favor of a handful of people who, to me, they feel selfishly they want for, enrich themselves. You understand? From the sweats and pains of common Sierra Leone, the common man, the citizen, we in not get
But
nothing.
according to the member of parliament, then basically they say, then they see them competing from other parliament and they live a better life, but them they live in a very miserable life. For example, the speaker, they ask for let the speaker get, one vehicle, official vehicle where he go retain. Then they ask for let get to the tune of I think 500,000 or so. Where if na in furnitures them where if for as well, gets the Impala. So all of this now for just uplift the life of member of parliament them.
Yeah, so thus they make the parliament a gambling ground now where everybody go one for go because it knows at the end of it all, that is what he or she is going to be given. You understand?
Whether he perform or not, now that they get.
That is it. That is it. Let us say, even if they pass better laws, even if they contribute, even if they go there, they see don't know more, they not talk nothing, for just hit the table, the I concord type of parliamentarians, even if they not do nothing, at the end of it all, the sweat and pains of Sierra Leoneans, then put that into fiscal.
As you talk, I think of something. Most member of parliament, they not can just care about their constituents. So if you don't know, say at the end of the day, you get a profit of $50,000, and then you could just find your way inside parliament. You not perform anything, and you not care about the one the way you go represent. And then at the end of the day, whether they give you symbol back or not, you not care because you get 50,000 for go it.
You get 50. Yeah, fine. You hold that now. See, me say they go. So then not they go now for go represent. Then not they go for go legislate better laws. You understand? Then not they go do the functions for which then they go there. Then now they go with an eye fixed on the money. You understand? So then can't talk to the constituents. It doesn't matter. Then go now the constituencies, or it doesn't matter. Just like when now they go into a block system, they go into the districts and they're not going to this district. It don't matter to them. The whole thing is their eyes will be fixed on the money we tag at the end of it all. And this is not what we want. You understand? The common Sierra Leonean for benefit from the taxes paid by Sierra Leoneans. You understand? If parliamentarians are going there, we have signed a social contract with them for make them go and represent will for let them legislate better laws. And we just say this fifth parliament was marred by this a set of fighting, use of abusive languages, they pass some laws, that we not go deny, you understand, but we not go also run a comparative analysis on issues like other countries and they do then their own parliaments and better. What are we doing as a nation? What are parliamentarians doing to equally boost up the economy of the state? Because if you want to have more things in your wallet, if you want to get more in your safe, you get for equally help so that the situation not go be stagnated. You understand? We have already suffering from some financial problems. Definitely. Imagine the IMF loans that we'll get for pay. Imagine the money we left for let we take into 22% for education. Imagine the others, the way they go into agriculture and some others. How much are these parliamentarians doing? How many of them will ever make farm for equally add to the microeconomy of this state so much so that with GDP will be something of a booming one? How much are we contributing? How much are they contributing so that at Forex level, Sierra Leone will be counted, the Leone will be rated high? Just do the exchange rate. If you're now talking about $50,000 multiplied by 22,200,
23,000. Sorry, 23,000.
Let's say 23,000. It's a humongous cost. You understand? It's a very big cash. So let them rethink. And we're asking on president, think about the common Sierra Leonean, where it's very difficult for make it get in half bag rest, able get per minor us for it. And as against few people, you understand, less than 200 in number, go, they say they want $50,000. No. To be very honest, it's not acceptable. We will not stand by. It's like draining the little bit of blood in the veins of Sierra Leoneans.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Blackie. Welcome to Mr. Bani Alphonsus. What na you take about this fifth parliament where their life don't come to an end so now?
Well, like my brother had already established, don't establish the foundation of the discussions with regards to the conduct and performance of the Fifth Parliament, we just don't dissolve yesterday. We will look at them probably from three different dimensions. We will look at the what did they do in terms of the legislative mandate for where now the constitutional mandate than they for past law, when are the primary responsibility. We also try to go for look at that from the oversight role we then get as a legislator over the executive in the implementation of and the use of state resources. We will look at that also based on the conduct and behavior of the House of Parliament. Now, from that three angles, me really want just
touch on. Okay, go ahead.
So, if we look at first the constitutional mandates, when at least for make laws, we don't see in this country that this Parliament don't promulgate progressive laws will not ever they think of in this country. And particularly they make more emphasis on laws the way they protect women and girls, sexual offenses, what is it? They also look at even the land law where they don't put where they also make where women in their own land now, where that did not ever happen to we that are a progressive what is it? And for the mere fact that when Parliament is even though when they discuss the issue of the death penalty, even though they've been so divided sometime, but they get a common understanding and the impact where it gets if we continue to forget the death penalty in the law books. Although some of them they talk earlier, but in the event you can't get, they determine the minds of any bad leader.
Correct.
But if you didn't, somebody else will use that. So if you know they know they create the opportunity for somebody for user. So then we see some of all those reasons where we think they'll be able come and pass some of those progressive laws. And even recently we see the Education Act where they don't pass for make sure say education now a matter of must. If you don't put your picking at school, you don't commit crime. And all those things are good because the more whether you reach that degree level, but for the mere fact you're able to read and write, it will give you that sense of reasoning, that sense of understanding basic things for get a rationalized way for look at things. We go look say no, what you tell me go no, this is not correct, or what you tell me no, I need for cross check because if you see now what they go on, some man go even like social media, some man go get information before you even look at and analyze them, they don't share them. So when you get education, also it also helps somebody for get a rationalized way for think. And so this you will get a for share or not for share or not try for no. So that issue of education, we don't make an compulsory, everybody for go at least that basic school. So we, from the human rights perspective, they did very well, and I think we commend them for that. This Fifth Parliament.
If I can borrow quickly the word of Kande Yumkela, he say the Parliament actually don't make some good laws then, but the missing points now the executive arm for implement some of them. That is why we see some of the laws them as not effective as in your word.
Yeah, no, that they go can't for implement those laws, not different thing. But why? Once you don't make the law, for the mere fact the law is there, it don't create the opportunity for people for accessor or even challenge the government for failing to implement. So that one day, if government not do one, the citizen get a responsibility for urge government for do one and for compel government for equally do one. On the side of the oversight, I don't think say the Fifth Parliament do justice for the people of this country. If we really want to fight corruption in this country, we really want to end leakages or drainages, the House of Parliament get the primary responsibility for do the oversight role for control how the executive, they use state resources.
Exactly.
This Fifth Parliament, there's nothing to write home about. There's nothing we can boast of for say they really play an oversight role on the executive. As which is we don't see that they don't play even with the Auditor General's report. Saying the Koboso will not get any semblance of the Parliament really they try for play the oversight role. The only time where they see say Parliament they play oversight role. Now the time where they already say after 5 months or 6 months they don't transfer money in local councils. Now they say they really say parliamentary oversight committee they go to local council because they want to go share their own cake. And this is like the service for the people of this country. And that's not an oversight. Now, a way of making sure that they use resources, they also go oppress the councils for making them deep into what they don't get again. Even though it don't even late when they send the money, they do go back after that money and try for better. Because and it don't get any way for we even hold them accountable because they know they left any train. And the councils they free. We can get with the interface with a lot of councils.
And since you talk about this, I get a reference to the Kenema City Council under the last regime. Something like that happened.
Maybe they're almost for a whole year, they don't give them money.
Yes.
Pass then come back, then change the system. Because that system of corruption don't become immune in the House of Parliament. And so if corruption not end inside Parliament, ACC will never fight corruption. Now, Parliament, they create the opportunity for ACC for able to fight corruption. But if Parliament corrupts, as it be evident in the report of Carl on the People's Perception Survey in terms of corruption, then the Afro-Barometer report of IGR, where they produced the last time, it clearly shows we House of Parliament no they live up to the task on the role of oversight. And so I don't look at those two areas. The other area where I say we look at now the issue of the conduct of
members of
the issue of members of parliament, their conduct and behavior of parliamentarians. Now, and there at the candidate, what happened, what the brother just mentioned, the Parliamentary Act of 2023, where they pass. You see, anything they do with honesty and sincerity, you need to do it in secrecy. You know they hide for doing. When would they give that word parliament, what they say, Honorable House of Parliament, or what they call it, say, Honorable Member of Parliament. By their behavior, by their conduct, by their utterances, if I reflect that word honorable. And so anything when they do, they come out from that angle. But when they pass that particular Parliamentary Act of 2023, where they talk about that money, that motoka, where the speaker, outgoing speaker will left with motoka, they pay 50,000 for one term parliamentarians, will not get the other rest of the one that will they contribute only for 2 terms or whatever they get. And when they done, when they term done, what they even get, if they even for 2 or 3 terms, that's not even come out of that kotoku yet, we don't even know. The danger is they not conduct and build themselves honorably. Because if you are doing something where they in the interest of the nation, you know they hide and do them in a secret way. And so they don't put the next government, it be it no matter bio they come back na power, or if another person, they don't put that next government into challenge. You go mind you now after elections, you get for see a number of demand from the teachers, universities, nurses, all other sectors. They talk say we need an increase in salaries, and all that they get for tell on the government. Now the first challenge that they when the next government go for conference, we parliamentarians don't set for that government. So that person let begin brace up now as to how they go for begin respond to all those demands for ensure say everybody. If you can make parliamentarians, the them kind money they pay them kind amount a day. Even the one that they secure them, the police officers who they secure, even parliamentarians, they don't even consider them. The worst
according to Honorable Abdul Kagbo, when I listen to on 98.1, he say like every year or every month them they pay like member of parliament them 80% of the salary, ex-member of parliament them, and then a burden. So instead let them give a one-off payment when a 50,000 way go more reasonable than they pay member of parliament them till they die.
Now listen, they say for new parliamentarians, they say for one-term parliamentarians.
For one
that's
term, yeah.
18 days. One term. What about those who don't go for 2 terms? You know, let them not try for talk as if people are so stupid in this country.
So in your opinion, you feel say if they go for 2 times, then the times are by 2?
If you go, it's here for 1 term.
Yeah, one term, 50,000.
Well, so if somebody go for 2 terms, he liable for pay that person. They 2 out say in 10 or don't say he die. That 1 time they not be they pay you. Now I think that be half of his salary. Now be half of that they pay. Not maybe 80%. That's not correct. It's misleading. It's misleading. It's not correct. And if I think it don't happen, it don't only for me to say this country, in the next government, as they begin, take to the next election, will they go out now for talks? Say this country will not need 135 parliamentarians. It's not useful, it's not necessary because it gets a huge cost implication. We don't need 135 parliamentarians. Me brother, if law say 135 parliamentarians, law assume for the purpose of getting this thing straight, 70 of them parliamentarians or 80 of those parliamentarians go second term. 80 of them then go second term. And among that 80 days, you get like 30 when are young men, when are 30. When I young, I just put on for that.
Get you.
Actually, when a young man there, young guys there, then go second term, and their second term done, and we get for pay that one a day, till they die. How much is the cost to this country? And we get people there where they really do great service to this country, and yet their pension when they pay them, it's nothing to write home of. Nothing we go boast of. Senior police officer, they don't retire. Senior military officer, they don't retire. We don't do good for this country. When they pay them pension, my brother, when they say they vex. Why parliamentarians don't even think of those people who they give their life? August 10, police will not be nothing happen. Now they go down the streets where they kill some of their soul. Then they use again when they set against the people. Then when they retire, their pension no mean anything. And these same parliamentarians, when they pay this big money, these are the same people who are politicians, when they misuse and abuse.
Yeah, when they cause the problem.
When they create the problem. And now they go with for 70, we for pay them for 10 and 10K.
For the problem when they cost.
For the problem they cost. And when they use, then they go back home.
Nothing.
Without payment. Some they retire from the police, but they don't even get host.
And some even they die when they're on service, when they're on duty, but they not get anything.
We don't see police officer, IG, don't return at this country. They go to security. How it demean to the security sector? We parliamentarians, they're not reasonable enough. And, the word vulnerable, they really undermine them. Okay. So I mean, I'm not thinking we need for the members of parliament.
I see the frustration in what you try for say, and I see the pain in you. But like out you, Mr. Blackie, what do you make up of this? You share the same view?
I think when I start for talk, I tell you, I'm a senior brother that one day, and I think it was like they speak in mind from the start.
Yeah.
Except otherwise, people want for be hypocritical. But we all don't see waiting happen at this country. We all don't see waiting they really be na Sierra Leone. No, we are not strangers to the occurrences. Like where I start, I say good laws have been passed. Yes. But does not mean say the bad ones have not occurred. We have seen a host of people. We have seen people where they go to that place. They're not going to do anything. You understand? And just like with Alfonso, they make an analysis on this. Let's say you have 50 of those guys going there for just one time. You understand? Some they say they don't even care for do them.
So you say support the cut down in the number. Say we don't need that kind of huge amount of members of parliament.
He's really right. He's really right because.
All right, the program we watch right now, Koreason, we are on YouTube and on Facebook. We actually get Alfonso and we get Joseph Blackie as well.
Hello?
Yes, we not be the get what you talk. As I ask you, you self support the cuts down?
I support the cut down 100%. Yes, with clear support statement say, waiting them 135 or 100 and whatever they go do another place. They reflect on the lives of citizens. Yeah, that they make the laws. If they make this law as a legislator, you for ensure say the executive they implement them in there to the fullest. You understand? Make supporting laws we go they ensure say then laws they won't pass are implemented to the fullest. But if these sometimes even the laws made are being broken by themselves, so they go make their laws, and because they're not a partake in the in making, they're not actively partake in passing their laws. They are only thing where they some are they are passively partaking. Then go sit down and when they compete, they don't argue, see them clap and they knock table, then just they are the year. You understand?
And
they agree to whatever is passed. Yes, they means they don't even read their standing orders. Some do not understand the standing order. Some have not read the constitution of this country, back front and back and back and front, for make them understand the underlying values with the inside that constitution. Now, they're not going to sit down and look at say let's get better laws. You understand? Private member bills could be passed, turn into laws. We go better the lives of the people where they live below the margin. Unfortunately, then they run say let them give them money. Everybody let them give them money, just like what Alfonso they say. By the next where we don't done the next election, the next government, the next parliament, either the 6th or so, where they come. You go now get for see several requests they get for come up from the teachers. That one they will not be done even solved yet. You understand? The teacher then demand has not been solved yet. The doctors and the nurses go come up. The CHOs and go come up. The military themselves go begin their own. The police go begin their own. Imagine a police officer retiring at let's say not to AIGO, they retire as support officer. Check if there are any parcels or document or anything put in place for make it go live an honorable life, for make it go live a life way worth. For somebody who go don't serve this country for 30, 40 years, they retire. Get nothing for right home about. Look at teachers.
Interestingly, they pass, the Small Arms Commission. They don't pass Security Act, but nothing like that. They never make mention of it for the security sector.
Yeah, that is what we are saying. So, like, put them in a parliament for pass better laws for for better the lives of the security apparatus. They're not they look at them more.
Because I remember they don't even think of their salary. I just remember last year the vice president.
Make I make this let me make this submission.
Please.
Time back, a parliamentarian. You understand? I'm not going to name him here. Where be they in Moyamba district? How to beat a police officer? Imagine. Is that the conduct of a parliamentarian? So at the end of it all, because in I want some parliamentarian, is he going to be paid the $50,000 because if they go and beat a police? Sometimes these are then kind careless things that they look at will not feel say they affect the lives and livelihood of Sierra Leoneans. No, they give a credence. You understand? They add credence to waiting make them honorable. They need to be acting in an honorable manner. Let them know say. Then careful do give back. Just like what Alfonso Bede say. Me say before don't talk about her equally. When they say oversight, you only see parliamentary oversight committee inside that long boss. They come in large number, then forget DSA, then get a host of things where they can gather from the councils. And at the end of it all, the councils they say anything because in the phrase say them man they are go impede on the progress where they want to make.
And that's not limited to just the council, to even the MDAs.
It's not, because in all other MDAs. So you see the unfortunate thing. So people, they go there with the idea, say, we are going to enrich ourselves. And going to enrich yourself, it's like bringing down the bar. With the lower the bar. The bar of integrity has been lowered to a point where Honorable Tarabi talk of corruption in our parliament. Every other parliamentarian frown at and people, they had to force him to say sorry to them. But the fact here is corruption really, really clear now the House of Parliament.
And even the anti-corruption are aware of that, but they refer to a systemic problem.
They are. It's been there. It's been there for generations. And we are still faced with it.
Because it's a systemic problem, that means we'll not find solution to them?
That is why I'm glad the way Alfonso make and say, let us cut down on the number of parliamentarians with some strong conditions for let you go into parliament. You understand? Because we will not go one for just get parliamentarians where they go sit down there. Don't clean, you wear coat, you go, you sit down under, you sit down before a computer, wait until you're not even able to operate.
Quickly, instead of when I say honorable member, when I will refer to some of them as dishonorable.
That could be something good for them, because if you go under in an honorable way, then you go become a dishonorable person. You go throw chairs all over on the fed. Then at the end of it, or some at the mumu, some went there, they never spoke anything. They never said anything in relation to development. Like even the progressive.
They pay them for clapping for knock table.
Some not even
and for give them sidekick the underground. Then they Allah hey.
Some not even clap.
Thank you very much.
Because anyway, for clap,
since Una two be done make mention of the security sector, we're very much important, and Alphonsus be done make mention of when the politicians them they cause the problem at the security sector and then they take the front. Well, let me look at this paper quickly where basically they talk about recap. Yesterday we deal with a paper where say Femi Claudius Cole basically the try for say the report from the August 10 it lack the credibility and all. And this one now from the Concord Times. Concord Times newspaper get a small survey and put them say former councillor on, remand for alleged incitement of August 10 in your protest. So, Joseph, what do you think about the report will come out of the August 10, the government official report?
I still they go back for say the report, the team will go then do the bits where they go do. Yeah, but now for say a councillor, imagine. At the local council, at the local government level, the councillors they serve as like just the parliamentarian. Now then, you parliament that. You understand? Wherein the need for put into play the development agenda. Comes, you don't do what you do at the local level. But if you go inside as alleged and now detained, that means that they go for proof the thing. You understand? If the court don't find and one thing say it be involved based on the evidence is put, then we start for look at what is happening with our politicians. Because if the politicians were for set a being role models in our society, they turn for be hooligans. We know there is no way you can euphemize them. If somebody na thief man, there is no way go say na take cannot to take na thief man. If somebody na a hooligan, there is no way you go say it just go into riot. No. We have the 1965 Public Order Act, which calls for the police for grant you, clearance. Although we self get problem with that because in the document it's talking about procession. You understand? For which the police for provide a coverage. People therefore for guide for see them processes are done, But in the 8th, 9th, and 10th of August, waiting we see they equally talking back today was nothing like demonstration but an insurrection. Because if people can rise up for say down with the president, will be democratically be elected, you understand? It calls for investigation. Whoever it is, me not they blame LPC or not they blame SLPP, or not they blame MGC. They blame the individual conduct of persons. You understand? I'm not look at that man as a councillor under APC or as a councillor under any other party, but I am looking at him as a member of Sierra Leone, a citizen of Sierra Leone, who decide for be lawless and the law for make such persons for pay for whatever they do. Equally, if any other person do either from the security part, that person should be tried, not based on a party affiliation, political affiliation, but based on the laws and what the law require for let that person be faced with.
Okay. All right. So in your opinion, you say the investigation committee do their own piece where they're supposed to do. So
then do them piece.
We see them as them being biased or a lack of credibility.
Yeah. Because if you look at this back and forth argument between Safa Abdullahi and Leema, they tell you say it is clear. It is it could be it could get in your based some iota of bias based on human factor. You understand? A motor mandate. Sometimes one will look at and say no somehow. But from the report, then tell we say they met with a host of people. You understand? And for the current deputy minister of internal affairs will not show up. You understand? I mean, to me, I not feel say it ethical for let we go na radio or go na the social media begin send yes I agree or begin altercate words. No. If you not go, you not go. Find ways of or means so that you can be interviewed by the committee, because the committee equally set now based on the taxpayers' monies, not to personal money, not to from President Bio in pocket come on, not to from the Deputy Minister of Defense or Internal Affairs, not to from any other person. Now collective cash from taxpayers' monies. Now them pay for, let them set up that team, for let them look into waiting happen.
Okay, so when it come over to Alphonsus, during the August 10, you've been play a very, very much important role in terms of helping the police officer them where they actually suffer some injury, according to you in the last interview we've been get on that, and this committee, because of the work where you do, for help the police who started not being get vehicle, the committee may ever call you for talk to you?
Well, the committee get their own parameter, they get their own sequence they use for call people. They get the terms of reference. And nobody not call me, nobody not reach out to me. So I believe say probably the information where a detailed or temple be they pull out. Probably they don't analyze it and they believe say that now more of a smear campaign on me own personality and the institution where I represent. So I believe say probably they decide they deem fit say it's not necessary for me then bring me in for further discuss, because they know and a number of them don't engage a number of people. So that was not necessary for them, because based on them in terms of reference.
Okay, but you been expect them at all you been expect them at all for call you since since you use your own personal motoka for help the security force them?
Well, I was not too keen for saying they will call me, but if they be reasonably believe say I get a role for play or an information I will share with them based on the terms of reference, I think the committee before call me, and not one man committee, then plenty day. So and I trust all the one they decided. So I think they all go down to them, discuss and weigh and look at the relevance or the which material they will really use if they call me, or what it will be, which information I will really provide will go more be useful for the work.
Okay.
And so if they don't call me to that committee, then get all reasonable reason or justification will make them not call me into that report, into that they don't find me.
So but, you now human rights defender, and you as well they help or they give hand to Amnesty International. Amnesty International is being them pull a press statement to start and talk about waiting and find out from the August 10, from people that we didn't talk to, where Una talk to last say Una. And then the special investigation committee as well pull the report. How you see the report where you take a look at them?
All right. So basically, I just want to make a talk, because I know I look at the operational parameters of the committee. I want to look at the report itself. What it means to we as a nation and as human rights defenders. In the first place, we appreciate the reports. We know going through the reports, we know establish a sense of being biased or they show any signs of favoritism, to the extent even when they suggest say the tweet of one of the special rapporteur on the freedom of association as an assembly when Mr. Clément Voulé, they single him out that in tweets encourage, and the opposition and a number of protesters be the user as if say now give their license, and that na their own opinion. Way to we not suggest that way, but that's the opinion of the committee that now encourage them for go as a responsibility of UN special rapporteurs. They get a responsibility for ensure and for encourage governments for say we need for protect the rights of peaceful protesters, and that basis we make the special rapporteur they go out with that tweet. So that also just
I read the tweet.
And you as a tweet, you get that tweet if you go commit crime. So I not be see, to me personally, I not be see any reason why they've associated as if he supported the riot. That was really unfair, and it not be appropriate for the society with the try for limit the work of UN special rapporteurs and when it comes in terms of freedom of association or protection of human rights defenders. Mm-hmm. But that's the decision of the committee. Mm-hmm. But by and large, we appreciate the reports. Mm-hmm. The reports they look fair, and if the report meets with expectation, no, it not meet with expectation because a number of things the report is suggesting need more investigation, need more for do this, for this. So which means the people's expectation, they don't meet up. Then do their own part. So we will think say the report, the committee for meet the expectation of the people as to what happened August 8, 9, and 10. Mm-hmm. What caused that with them? Without they involved, without committee or whatsoever, then pega, all those things in it. So why the committee do their best for bring out all those issues, identify some of those challenges and those gaps, and who are responsible, they fall short for meet the expectation of people. Even some of whom they even expect that the committee can even make as an annex, because people then die, police then die, civilians then die. We know the cause of death of those people. Mm-hmm. Whether the civilian will die in a gunshot, therefore make them public. The autopsy report, people they go blind, the people they don't even know. The people they not get the cause of death of their loved ones. We are expecting that committee for come out with suggestions as to ABC people that be die as a result
because
of
then gets the power of the government because according to the pathologists, they say all of the autopsy results or the reports they to the Internal Affairs Ministry.
Of course, they're supposed at least for give a summary of the outcome of the autopsy report. Not into details. They're supposed to give a summary that among the 27 people that will die, so number of people that die of gunshots. So we don't say they were there now because of gunshot and firing, and because people that they talk say this one they shoot them before me. But the report not can suggest say a number of people die. We don't want for them to talk say now so particular person. But if I don't give you a summary,
like 10 people die of gunshot wounds, 10 die of beating
gunshot wounds. Some of those things that they for camp. And I'm glad the way you and that my colleague, my brother, they talk about Lawrence Leema. If to me, it's really unfortunate. Lawrence Leema not be even supposed to go on social media. This is now a state-established committee where every citizen in this country get the right and responsibility for comply. Even me also, if that committee they ever call me, they don't even make a Twitter and they appear as a peaceful citizen. But this they show say when we president in flagship program, they say it can forfeit lawlessness, indiscipline, and corruption. Lawlessness and indiscipline, it their rights now in office. The conduct of Lawrence Leema for refuse and absolutely not comply with the committee, now be a complete act of lawlessness and indiscipline in this country to the highest level. So there was no reason, no justification for Lawrence Leema for go on air, for even go social media, for go begin to talk or send something, hey, they call a number about with this and that. In fact, what he don't create for say, now make such intelligent where they can even a court them can see they give judgment in default. If somebody can go a case against you in a court, you not appear. The person will file to the court say, when this person not come, when I give him judgment in default. Judgment in default not necessarily means say you commit the crime. But because you not appear, it they suggest say you know the contest, the complaint whether the person count.
Now you want from justice.
So they suggest, as you say, voting the allegation people that may get against them, it look confirmed because it not go to the committee. So which means, except otherwise, if you happen to say mother be kind of power, it not make sure say Leone and Leema they hold them accountable. The day when they left power, any other government will come, would they ensure say Leone and Leema is fully accountable of in conduct during that 8th, 9th, and 10th August incidents. If will be held accountable. It's not above the law. It's not above the law. It's not pass any other people the way the committee called for go discuss and for go share their own thoughts. So to me, there's no reason why for go on air. There's no reason for going on social media. There's no reason for beginning challenge the committee. In fact, now a complete disobedience to the president himself.
All right. So
you as a minister under the same government, the government institute a committee and you refuse for comply to that committee. I don't think even president for even maintain for just one day with that kind of conduct.
Right.
That the show say the president go ready for implement the outcome of the committee report. Now one of the things and the way the president for don't demonstrate to the public that he committed to unify this country, he committed to hold people accountable. If for just not ensure say Leone and Leema become accountable, is sack and force. Let it in the corner.
Okay, so now ask Kuna, this is not the last question or the last issue they deal with, and still around this Leone and Leema. Issues or discussions that may go all around say before even the president, put ban on, in cabinet and all else of MDs. Leone and Leema been don't actually sneak out of the country. In other words, he been don't run away, he been don't left the country, he been there on the run or whatsoever, something like that. And so what you wanna make up of this? Because we just una been gets report of that, una be hearing things like that. Joseph.
Come again.
Before this term, we been they get reports say Leone and Leema after all of this thing will happen. He been don't hide and left the country. Una be ever hear things like that?
To me no read that one and really for me on social media issues, many times I can be very reluctant for buying what in the kind of social media. If not things that they deal with human rights issues, I can tend for listen and verify and try for corroborate.
Okay.
On personal issues, then they make just see and say more of na propaganda or attacks on somebody young person. If you go, probably don't not even hide the height. So if you just go waka, and people interpret that kind of way they say they hide. A lot of things can happen. So as long as you not get any human rights impact, whether Leone or Leema be run away or it travel to it's not a human rights issue. The human rights issue we'll get now is that they fail for comply with the committee established by law. Now, a human rights concern, now a violation. It undermines the credibility and the legality of the committee established by law. That is a human rights concern to us.
Okay. So, Joseph, you be hearing anything like that?
I know hear and it's a news to me, but whatever it is, I don't think that gets any human, it's not a human interest story. Leone and Leema, si don't motor go, si don't boat go, si don't plane fly, that is his personal business. If he want, he can go America. If he want, he can go anywhere. But what we are saying, we stand on this one. Say, if you don't go, even when you appear the first time when they call you, if you don't take, the honors and say, let me go and meet with this committee so that they can understand. He had been a military personnel and called by, a senior military, although ex now, retired. You before don't go. Go listen to them. That is show how disciplined you are. We all see how war began at this country. Those who bear the greatest responsibility, then face up. We see just when I be we neighbor, it is suffer, it in a prison because of what he do for against Sierra Leoneans and Sierra Leone. So Leone and Leema in your issue, like where Alfonso they say, most of the time, then social media business. How many times they not don't kill President Bio? How many times they not don't even kill an Eskroma or Samora Kamara? How many times people know they go snap? They don't snap Samora. They put an near one bottle. When a Photoshop then do. So some of them social media publications, I don't trust them. Okay. When I make anytime I see them things, are they gonna almost all search engines, search machines? Are they gonna YouTube? I will go to all ones. So I go and try for know if they are really authentic. Right. But around this issue of this report, whoever in name can they let law take in cause, make it deal with the person, if according to the law. So much so that next time people no go play games. The only thing where they also say the telecoms will have also been brought in. How much then they do for make them see that they provide prompt information to the cyber unit of the Sierra Leone police. You understand? They get a responsibility for do. Because most of their information, how they go, now through the hubs and it pass. Almost all now through the hubs and it pass. So if it pass through the hubs, when once not from phone to phone, though some of them WhatsApp messages are encrypted, they are all encrypted, but they can go through some other technological processes for able to know within they transfer the information there from Uda Ikomo to Uda, so that they can give in the information there to the Sierra Leone police, and the Sierra Leone police go act upon them. But equally, let us look at it. If parliamentarians they all say they want $50,000, now let us see. Waiting at the communication set where they put in, how effective the communication unit is of the Sierra Leone police. First will be they see they get a Kenwood handset. But now on a mobile phone they use. Some man they go there in Jala Komboya and Bodi Street here, outside telecommunication, they not get network. They go face some kind of problem. How you go communicate and they hit to the HQ? So these are all things where Parliament before don't look into and pass. But they are not looking into that. They are only running about enriching themselves, which is a big slap in their own faces.
All right. Thank you very much. Alfonso, so if you for left with any word, we think it be your word in 2 minutes.
Pardon?
If you for left with any word inside the program, we think it be your word in 2 minutes.
Really, the word way at the left now it relates with two things. One, the Parliament and we August 10 committee reports. For Parliament, I think say for we in this country, it's high time for where we could all resolve law will control the dynamics of this country. We don't really need to forget in Sierra Leone with the number of resources, with the way how things go, and with wages. We don't need to forget 135 members of Parliament now the House of Parliament. We need for the think over that one day as we get for the next election. Law will make sure we will pass a law for reduce the number of constituency, the number of members who for going to Parliament. That now me don't take on that. The other thing on the August 10, if the president really wants to say is serious on that August and for implement the August 10 reports, for the August 10 reports, he really need for set the example on EU minister when a Leone Lawrence Leema, where in fact he publicly disobey because now a direct disobedience to the office of the president. So if the president wants to show to we say he get interest for unified, for fight against corruption, for fight against lawlessness and indiscipline, and for so I mean what that they get for left to the people.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate Una. Thank you and Joseph. And for all now joining me inside the program today. And we actually been getting at the program Joseph Dominic Silvanos Blackie, where he come out from Pride Sierra Leone. And as well, you get Alphonsus Bani, where come out from Human Rights Defenders Network, where they join me inside the program today for our discourse. Thanks to all we watch the program. You will like, you will share. We appreciate all so much. On YouTube, 420 people. We still there with me. And on Facebook, we actually get 171 people. We appreciate all. Thank you very much for your shares and all. The producer for this program, in name na Elias Abba. Thank you very much for the production. Thank you. I appreciate all. My name is Sembe Pierre, the Freedom Fighter. Until we meet again inside another beautiful edition of a program where we call Rest tomorrow morning. I want to say happy independence in advance. So what do we go do? for that. Okay, so if even if that we think we could do now, let I just go quickly and play for now one particular song. We are going for Leona listen quickly. Again for the independence. I'll just play this song for now quickly, just some seconds. Yes, and then I can tell you about this song where one can play for you so right now. So let me go quickly and see how I can play this song for you. We do it right now. Let's see this song.
This is not the Cambia Artist Development Union. They train the nation for celebrate Mama Saloon in 62 years anniversary. So everybody, come celebrate with us.
Happy birthday, Saloon. I don't pledge me love and loyalty to you, Mama Saloon. We don't vow for serve faithfully, yeah, at all time, yeah. Happy anniversary, Mama, yeah. Anniversary, Mama Saloon. Happy anniversary, Mama, yeah. Anniversary, 62 years anniversary, Mama, yeah. Anniversary, Mama Saloon. Happy anniversary, Mama, yeah. Anniversary, Mama Saloon.
Congratulations, land of the free. If you agree, come and jubilate with me, yeah. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we will always talk about Sierra Leone. I'm bang on Charama, although me in the up the only lady Porto, the only lady Pale, before I yet.
Alright, so that all the song there, and I want to tell you, say, we will actually get the artist to lead this particular song inside the Independence Anniversary tomorrow. Follow we talk about this. Check out the flyer, yeah. So this now the Cambia Artist Development Union we feature anniversary song as entitled and the feature superstars them like Must Be, Versatile, the Landlord, King Fo, Buse Do, Fourth and Last there as well, Foggy D, Rasta Core, and Memrish Stake that is so Ibrain, Money 20, and many more we didn't come inside this particular song. So we actually get the lead for joining inside the program tomorrow 8 p.m. Saloon time as we the host, you know, artists them like Collins Pratt, you know, with the host, you know, how you call him? Mambe, come on. Alright, so let's just go through. Okay, let's go through the list. Lano guess. We get Otis Thompson. We are get John Blau. We get Collins Pratt, King Masco, Patricia. And we get Vic Fauna, and of course the two artists that we will talk about. So this particular one we will just the playing song. Go join me tomorrow 8 p.m. Saloon time. So join me. We'll get a nice anniversary song. Until then, we will get from it again. It's another beautiful edition of a program called Rest tomorrow morning. I want to say God bless you, country Skelly. We will call you Weird.
Another morning again inside Weird. Plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country Weird. Anyway, before I go to the Wala na Weird, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. Weird.